What we do see here is a Janna pickup. Of course, Janna banned last time, and a Kog'Maw pickup from Curse. So they felt, oh, we dealt with your Kog'Maw last time, and this time we're going to get Kog'Maw. And on the other side, we see, oh my goodness, I thought at first it was a troll, because we see a Taric and a Graves pickup. The exact same lineup that Curse ran last game is picked up from, oh my goodness, from Just Your Average Joes.
Yes, so it looks like a little bit of a switch here. We'll see how that works out for the teams. Of course, Janna and Lee Sin were banned out in the last game, so this is their first time seeing action. Now we get to see what Pobelter and Crumbs pick up for Curse as their next two picks.
I mean, I love Graves. I think he's very strong early game. He doesn't have the range Kog'Maw does. I mean, he doesn't have anywhere near the range Kog'Maw does, and I feel that is a significant weakness. He does bring more AoE damage, potentially to a team fight, especially in a burst situation. But, like, for example, we saw some really fancy footwork from Hoodstomp, who was on Kog'Maw. He was dancing around, he was out of range of that Cassiopeia, and was able to attack her, and she couldn't really land anything back. So that was really entertaining to watch, and Graves, of course, doesn't bring you that same dynamic, does bring you the more burst potential. And of course, this time we see Spellzy, or not Spellzy, I guess it is Captain Korea with Ignite, so of course he's going to change that out. I was like, oh my goodness, another support with Ignite? Maybe this time they'll actually use it, because I really feel that using Ignite with a Graves combination is really useful, because it just makes that level 6 burst so immense. So we do have, oh my goodness, we do have a Kog'Maw coming down and a Vladimir coming down, so that will probably be AD Kog'Maw. What? But I'm not entirely sure on that. It could be AP still. If my dreams come true, that would be AP.
Yeah, it could be that Vladimir goes top, Kog'Maw goes mid, and Curse still has yet to choose an AD carry, as Mundo is probably going to go in the jungle. We see Shyvana being picked up for the jungle for Just Your Average Joes, and Ahri being picked up for the mid. Now, Zilean is being shown. Zilean would go mid, but now, well... Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, it is possible.
Most likely go mid. He was really a strong pick for North American teams. European teams never really seem to catch on or really like him middle, but we do see a change now. It looks like a Galio coming down. The one thing is, I heard from Freak, Zilean is just great whenever you have a champion that is a huge hyper carry, and is less effective when those hyper carries get nerfed. So for a while we saw really crazy setups with Yorick, Zilean, and Vayne, where you're just like, oh, okay, you're not going to kill our Vayne's going to kill all of you. And I thought maybe the same thing was going to come out here, but just using Kog'Maw as the focus, as the hyper carry, wherein, make sure that Kog'Maw doesn't die, resurrect them if they do die, and count on them for all your damage. But instead we see Nyjackie on Galio, which is going to be a good matchup, and we see Captain Korea on Ahri, so that is going to be entertaining middle. Of course, Galio kind of puts everyone at a standstill in middle. He can't really be poked out of the lane because he builds magic resistance. It's he's essentially a tanky AP caster, builds magic resistance, has a shield that actually heals him if he's damaged. So really, you can't expect to kill him just on your own middle. We'll see if those ganks from Shyvana do enough to take him out, but I expect he'll be able to just keep farming away, and of course he's taking teleport, so he hopes to be a presence in other lanes as well.
Well, I mean, the last time you predicted a farm-heavy lane, we saw how that turned out.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, oh, they're just gonna farm, and then they just kept on killing each other, and just kept on killing each other instantaneously, where I was like, whoa, what is happening? What is happening? Of course, things were going on in other parts of the map. I was really excited about people, pushing towers and farming and doing other mundane things. I would miss the actual fights there. But we do see, Shyvana is going to be in the jungle. Lee Sin is going to be top lane. Lee Sin's a pretty popular top lane as of late. Voyboy kind of championed him in IEM Hanover. Did a really great job. Everyone was very impressed. Of course, he can do a lot of things. He can jump around with Safeguard. Of course, jump in with his Resonating Strike, and slows down a lot of normally slows down bruisers up top, but he's going to be matched up against a Vladimir, it seems. So that might not be an ideal matchup for him, but, we shall see. We will certainly see. We have seen, and we did see Voyboy, able to match up against Kennen and really just use Safeguard to nullify all that poke damage. But I think Vladimir does a little bit of more poke damage, a little bit less skill shot oriented for that early game damage. So we will see. I mean, I'm very intrigued. This is one of those matchups where I feel it could go either way, but when one person gains the advantage, I feel it's going to go very heavily in their favor.
Yep. In terms of summoner spells, we see that Shyvana and Mundo both taking Exhaust along with their Smite. So choosing not to take Flash, choosing to take that Exhaust to maybe help their ganks out a little bit.
Right, and Spellsy was listening to me. He is taking down both, or Spellsy is taking both Heal and Exhaust, and that is allowing Graves to take Ignite. So that level 6 burst combination is going to be huge. Of course, they can use it before level 6. Level 6 is when the ultimate comes into play with the collateral damage. But even before that, if you get up in someone's face, for example, that Janna or that Kog'Maw, and you land a buckshot into an Ignite, it's really going to nullify that heal. I wouldn't be surprised to see some focusing on elements, because that tends to be the strategy. When the AD carry is taking heal, you can just burst down that support, and of course the heal will be less effective on them. Of course, if also the Ignite is tacked on, then the heal is doing half the amount it does to the AD carry, and then it's also being halved again, once again by that Ignite.
Yep, but the thing is, Janna is good after she hits 6 at disengaging with that ultimate. So we'll see how Hoodstomp and Spellsy approach that, and see if they can really get that burst damage down onto elements if they do choose to focus elements.
Yeah, but I think you're misunderstanding the meaning of burst damage in the sense that it comes from Graves. It's not like, oh, burst damage, they die in a couple seconds. It's like Taric stuns, he uses his ultimate, Graves, quick draws in, buckshots, collateral damage, fight over. That's the end of it.
Yeah, that is true, I guess, but
there's no time for disengaging. It just happens. But we'll see. We will see if Elements is quick enough to disengage from her own death. Her own being Janna, of course. It's not saying Elements is a female.
Yeah, but I mean, Janna is very good at keeping the enemy away if she wants to. So we'll see how that turns out. I really like this Kog'Maw skin, actually. The Lion Dance Kog'Maw, I think it's called.
Yes, and we of course saw the same Lion Dance Kog'Maw in the last matchup. The one thing is the ultimate kind of makes like fireworks and sparkles and all that sort of fun, exciting stuff, and has its own sound effects. So it's certainly a great skin. If you want a skin and you want to shell out some money for it, that is a good one to pick up. Very unique. The one thing I have to say about it though is, Monarch Kog'Maw is very pretty. It's one of my favorite. It's just a little butterfly, so cute, floating around, and floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. It's a pretty apt saying for Kog'Maw, who we saw last game can do tons of damage from ridiculous range.
Yep, and I'm actually a fan of Jurassic Kog'Maw, which came out recently. I think it looked really cool. I actually like the that skin for Cho'Gath as well.
Yeah, those are both good skins. I just feel like Monarch Kog'Maw is probably the best non-legendary skin in the game. Of course, legendary skins come into play. There's a lot of really epic ones. Gentleman Cho'Gath comes to mind, which has been a long-standing favorite. And every time they come out with a new one, it's always entertaining. Up top, we see really interesting placement there from Lee Sin and Shyvana, kind of hiding in the fog of war. So Crumbs will not see them. We'll probably see them approach, but we'll see if Lee Sin's able to land a resonating strike, maybe get sight on Crumbs. Should be entertaining.
Yep, Crumbs is all alone by himself. The rest of Curse is down here by their own wraiths. But it looks like Just Your Average Joe is looking to go up here. It looks like they're going to go in. Crumbs does see them and is going to back off. Resonating Strike going down and a little bit of damage, but Zanzibar takes that tower hit, so he has to back off. And now the rest of Curse knows that they're there.
Yeah, but they're not immediately backing away. Oh, it does look like the tornado, the Howling Gale, will come out from Janna. So that's kind of an interesting pickup. Oh my goodness, Nijaki is there. Oh, the charm just barely misses. That charm might have been death. But we see Curse all taking unusual spells because of this level 1 engage. I mean, I personally like taking Howling Gale, which is the tornado, on Janna first. But, frequently you will take Eye of the Storm, which is a shield. Galio, on the other hand, took his shield first, and Kog'Maw took his Void Ooze, the slowing area of effect, whereas normally I believe he would take his W, the Bio Arcane Barrage, just to have the extra little range for farming.
Yep, looks like Just Your Average Joe is going to do counter juggling to start this out. You're going to take this red buff, And Ari is just going to come back down here to get back in her lane as Shyvana is going to finish off the red with her smite.
Yeah, I would have been interested to see, if they had given that to Lee Sin, if he was really going to be able to dominate the Vlad. That's kind of what we saw last matchup. Oh, and Crumbs and Shyvana do kind of meet up there. Crumbs, it looks like he took Cleaver. Normally I go W into E as Mundo, but that Cleaver picked up, for potentially early level gang sword, early level fights. Crumbs is clearing out his race, and Shyvana is heading up top. It looks like he's going to be going after this Vladimir.
Yep, and Shyvana's going in. It might drop that. Yep, does drop that exhaust. But Lee Sin isn't there to follow up. He does flash in. Oh, getting that damage and that ignite. Able to pick up first blood, but he's getting really low and is going to fall to Crumbs.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
Yep, getting that extra gold from first blood, so it was indeed worth it.
Oh, and for a moment there, they were just 100 gold up, but now it has actually gone back to Curse's favor. They're 100 gold up. Oh, and now it's even again. Oh my goodness, the global gold goes back and forth.
The intense excitement from the 100 gold difference. But actually, we see Captain Korea pushing this lane, getting some harass down on Galio. She has managed to. She's taken 2 in Orb of Obsession after taking that charm to begin with. So back to the normal spell order now. Meanwhile, we see Mundo is just farming that jungle, as is Shyvana.
Right, and of course Mundo, I don't believe he used his exhaust. Let us look at that. No, didn't have to use his exhaust to get that kill. So now he has, both his cleaver and exhaust. Whereas Shyvana is a good early ganker, provided she has exhaust and red buff. If she doesn't have either of those, or one of those, then it's really her ganks are not super effective. So Mundo is going to have to advance.
Down at bottom, we see the Spellsy using the stun to get on the Janna, and I guess the burst damage helping them take out the Janna really quickly.
Oh, that's really weird, because I thought she'd just be able to disengage that.
Well, I said after 6. I said after 6. So.
Okay. Well, you're off the hook. Well, she didn't have time to use her exhaust. So if she doesn't have time to use her exhaust, then she might not have time to Monsoon later on in the game. It looks like Kog'Maw did burn his heal, but like I said, that ignite went down, so that heal was, half as effective.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess what I more meant was that Janna did have a disengage, not necessarily from like the pure burst damage, I guess, but from certain fights. But that time she was unable to disengage, as Sotir so shrewdly pointed out, and she fell to the graves.
Yeah, the farming top lane is a little bit in Vladimir's favor, and I don't see it turning around there. I think Lee Sin might be in a little bit of trouble. Did just level up and took another level in Sonic Wave. Oh, a gank is coming back down. The troll pool, as it is commonly called, does go down from Vlad. Oh, and a resonating strike misses from Zion Spartan on Lee Sin. And really, I thought they were going to follow that into the turret. I think they might have wanted to. One Bad Brad certainly wanted to. One Bad Brad was all for it. Was going into that turret, but Lee Sin just kind of disengaged early, as they kind of did in the last fight there.
Yep, and we see down at bot, or actually. No, never mind. We see down at bot that Graves and Tarek are pushing that lane heavily, and so is Captain Korea on Ahri, actually getting a lot of damage on this Galio, even just with her auto attacks. But Mundo coming in with the cleaver and that burning agony, able to do a lot of damage. Has to flash out using that charm though, and Shyvana comes in to help pick up that kill on Galio. So a great counter.
It was a bait into a bait. That was, oh my goodness, a double bait. It was a, well, I will not say that. I will not go so far to call it so masterful, but it was really beautifully played. Galio was, of course, taking a lot of damage. It's like, oh, auto attack me, because Mundo was there farming the race. Up top, we see quite a bit of damage going on that Vlad, but getting back to my excitement about that counter bait, Mundo was like preparing for it forever. Galio knew it was coming in, but then just at the last moment, Shyvana comes in, a flash into a charm leads into a kill on that Galio. So it was a flash, charm, ignite, and Shyvana was able to do a little bit more damage and already picked up the kill with that ignite.
Yep. So now we see actually up top, Shyvana is looking to go up and on this Vladimir again, but looks like Lee Sin actually went back, so she's just gonna cover this lane for now. And we are going to see Galio coming up here, just warding, not really looking to do anything else other than that.
Yeah, we do see Gallo has now picked up a Chalice of Harmony, which is a pretty usual build for him. A lot of different APs go a different build. Maybe build Doran's Rings, maybe build Rod of Ages.
But up at top we see actually Lee Sin coming in and jumping on top of Vladimir, getting that exhaust down, but the troll pool coming off, and he is able to get away just fine.
I like how we are going to stick with Troll Pool as the official name. 2 times in this game, Troll Pool.
Wait, what is it? Is it what, Sanguine Pool? Is that the actual name?
Yes.
Nah, Troll Pool. Troll Pool is better.
Anyone who has felt its effects would certainly agree. It is so frustrating to try to gank that Vladimir and just see them pool away and that no harm being done to them. He did have to back up there, but I mean, he actually, I don't know if he had to back up. He had quite a bit of health left over. Probably just decided it was about time to buy, and kind of interesting, is forced to build Ninja Tabi and a Doran Shield. So instead of rushing that Hex Tech, is building a rather intriguing, really defensive-oriented build.
Over here we actually see
Galio.
Yep, and Galio using his ultimate as Mundo comes in, getting a lot of damage on the Shyvana. Shyvana's dropping really low, but Galio's also really low. The ultimate coming down from Captain Korea to help pick up the kill on Galio, but she falls as Kog'Maw's coming up to help out. The Taric is there as well, and Lee Sin and Graves are going to chase out Cop. So now it looks like they might be able to steal this blue, although both AP mids died.
Right, the blue might be taken, and Lee Sin is bottom here, so they may go for this dragon. I mean, it looks like Shyvana is on the way. They're not going to do it. Lee Sin's going to head back up top. It was just interesting. Kog'Maw did get there early. Said thanks for that red buff. That's really going to help him out in lane. But there was a little momentary, pause there that I don't know how to explain. Captain Korea certainly got ulted by the Galio, was taunted for that 2 seconds, but then thereafter had a moment to ultimate in towards that Galio, kind of hesitated. And I don't know whether they hesitated because they were thinking, oh, we might be being pulled further into this trap, or maybe perhaps they lagged, because there certainly was a moment there where they should have ulted, could have ulted, and really picked up those kills quicker, and maybe allowed them to escape, but just didn't do that.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about in terms of the delay. I think she was exhausted, and that might have contributed to it a little bit, but yeah, the fight certainly not...
So up top, they were trading, but Lee Sin uses Safeguard to a ward, barely gets away. But yeah, we are seeing that lane kind of going in Vladimir's favor, and it's a little bit tricky to say, oh yeah, it's in his favor. And, well, actually, for a moment there, I thought Lee Sin was going to jump into that Resonating Strike, use his ultimate perhaps, Ignite, and try to pick up that kill on that essentially half-life Vladimir there. Decides not to go ahead and do that, is going to farm up a little bit more. But it looks like we will probably get a Hex Drinker on this Lee Sin, and we might get the first tournament used of Malmorsus later. So that would be pretty exciting as well. Just judging by those 2 longswords, of course it could also go into a Brutalizer, but the other item it may go into is that Hex Drinker. And Lee Sin's actually staying in lane, regaining quite a bit of life, and it's going to back, but picks up a lot of minion kills there.
Sorry, down at bot we see some exchange going... Oh, actually I thought they were going to go on, but some trading going down. Spellsy taking a lot of damage, dropping below half health, and they are having to use some health potions to heal back up, so they should be fine. But, sorry, going back to what you were saying.
Oh yeah, and down bottom it looks like they're trying to prepare here for that burst again. Elements is only level 5 to Graves is level 8, so a burst is very. I mean, the potential of bursting her down is it seems imminent. It seems like it's coming. I'm getting excited. I'm stumbling over my words because I'm like, oh my goodness, this is coming. Spellsy's kind of positioning, oh, there's the stun, there is the burst, oh, and it goes down.
Actually, Shyvana coming in to help getting that damage on Kog'Maw, and the actually Teleport coming in, getting that, and Shyvana's going to be taken out with the help of that ultimate. They do finally take out the Kog'Maw, but... oh wow, Spellsy going down.
Turned around to stun the Galio. To be fair, I think he probably would have died from Galio spells, But had he just kept running, I don't think he would have died to Kog'Maw. Anyways, it ends up being a 2-for-2 exchange. Of course, Galio had to use his teleport to get down there, but it was a very well-timed teleport by JYAJ to get down there and really save it from being a total loss for Curse, because they were both going to die, both elements on on Janna and Kog'Maw were going to die. But Graves does not come away with a red buff. Actually, Galio inherits it. Crumbs is taking a little bit of damage from Ahri there, who's spotting him. He is now just clearing those wards with his Oracle. So far, no Oracle pickup for Just Your Average Joes.
Yep, and the charm missing from Ahri, so she's not going to be able to get as much damage down on the Galio, but she is doing pretty well so far. She is about even with Galio in the CS. Looks like they are looking to group around Dragon a little bit. Some pings going down. The pink ward going down to clear that ward for Just Your Average Joes. Shyvana's down here as well, and Shyvana has that smite up. So, and yep, they do start it. Mundo is in the vicinity with his oracles. So looks like, and the Kog'Maw and Janna are here, so they know that it's going on. But looks like Just Your Average Joes are going to be able to take this without much of a fight.
And up top, there's actually a lot of damage going on. Lee Sin, oh my goodness! Oh, I hope you caught that, but it might not matter in the end. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
So I got that at the end, but it was brilliant. Zion Spartan kind of ran into the bush, then flashed over Pobelter, so he couldn't get another spell on him. What's happening?
And down at bottom, we see a fight breaking out. Ahri tried to use her ultimate to get out. Now they're going to be able to catch this Graves, who is just going to fall to the Kog'Maw. Shyvana's down here actually just trying to take out these small golems before backing off, but she does take them out, and she does back off. So that does even up the kills a little bit in favor of Curse.
Yeah, but they are still, 100 gold down, so that's a minimal amount, and it does look like Vladimir is kind of taking control up there. Lee Sin has picked up that Hex Drinker now. That is going to be pretty huge. It's going to help him sustain through that, burst ultimate use of Vladimir. But I don't know how that fight went down bottom. I mean, the Dragon was clearly taken by Just Your Average Joes a while ago. I don't know why they stuck around to, give up those kills.
Yeah, I think they were just kind of, I don't know why, but they were both just in that area, trying to catch each other out of position, and it turned out that Ahri was the one that was caught out of position, and they were able to jump on the Ahri. Ahri tried to use her ultimate to get out, but wasn't able to, as the Janna Tornado actually knocked her up and helped pick up the kill.
Yeah, and it was a really interesting play, as I was kind of fawning over before we got into that other team fight. Zion Spartan flashed over the Vladimir, then safeguarded to a minion relatively far away, almost escaped, but just didn't quite escape, of course, and was taken down. Vladimir, with that kill, is able to pick up a Will of the Ancients, so now he's tanky and now doing a little bit of damage and having a lot of sustain.
Actually, I just realized that my first question on Stack Exchange was, what happens if Lee Sin uses the Sonic Wave on a Vladimir, and then Vladimir pulls, can he use a Resonating Strike?
And they are going at it, so but actually, no damage is being done to Pobelter, and Zion Spartan gets almost 2/3 of his life taken away, so that wasn't a real exchange, it was kind of more just a domination. Anyways, continue with your exciting Stack Exchange story.
Yep, so, I mean, that's actually the matchup we're seeing up top. We were seeing Lee Sin against Vladimir, so it'd be interesting if we could actually see that in action. There is some fighting going on right now. Yep.
Yeah, I feel that Vladimir is kind of taking control of that. He's won the last couple of engages, and he looks really scary when these are going down. Of course, Shyvana is coming up here. Oh, it looks like, he was positioning to use his ultimate back into the turret there.
Yeah, but Mundo is actually coming up in here as well, and it looks like trouble for Lee Sin. He is going to fall. Shyvana is getting exhausted, is trying to crawl back in her dragon form, but gets very low and drops. Actually, in bottom lane, another exchange going down as Graves takes out the Kog'Maw. And the Janna falls too, actually, yeah.
Yeah, so we see that burst combination too much. Of course, Ignite was used, Spellsy... What? Okay. and as soon as I go down bottom, see, what is happening? What did happen? What spells were used? Oh, no worries. Ahri's actually taking out Galio middle as well, which is really impressive because Galio, of course, is, probably the tankiest AP middle you can send. So Ari, looks like she barely got away there with her life, and an Ignite might have, done her in. But of course, Galio is carrying Teleport instead. And that middle turret does go down, bottom turret is down. Of course, top turret was taken down by Curse due to that, another counter gank, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, just really impressive use by Spellsy down there, landing the exhaust. They actually still have heal up, so they still have one of their summoners up. On the other hand, Kog'Maw does have heal up. I'm not sure if it was up, when that previous fight went down, and Janna still has exhaust up. So I don't know, whether they weren't able to use it because, burst is bursty, or if they just weren't up at the moment and now have returned in the last 30 seconds or so. But yeah, it is entertaining how that is going. It's really going heavily in the favor of just your average Joes down bottom. 5-1 Graves already has his Infinity Edge. That is pretty crazy. Although when I say that, I'm a little bit surprised to see Kog'Maw is also 4-2. So how does that happen?
Well, there have been fights with other lanes. Actually, a little bit of engage going down, but they're just going to fall back. Up at top, we see the Vladimir continuing to do so much damage to this Lee Sin, and Lee Sin just really has to back off, actually going in, and he is about half health, and kicking him away as he has to fall back. Ari is actually coming up
here, so they're kind of baiting him, but it's an interesting bait attempt. It looks like, I think Vladimir will go down. Ignite does go down. Ari has her ultimate. Misses Orb of Deception. Oh my goodness, that was pretty. That was pretty. Orb of Deception missed, but Captain Korea ultimated to the other side of Vladimir, so it would actually come back and hit him with the true damage portion. That was a very pretty use of her ultimate. I don't think I've ever seen that happen. I've certainly never thought even to use it that way.
Yep, and that was actually great timing, actually, but I'll talk about it a little bit later as some engages going down. We see the Galio being jumped on by 3 members of Just Your Average Joes, but he does back off. Shyvana was looking to try to take this red buff. She's going to turn back and go for that now. The rest of Curse is also here. Looks like they're going to try to contest Galio going in and using his ultimate, but that stops early, and the Tarek getting jumped on and dies, but the rest of Just Your Average Joes is split up, and they're going to try to do some damage to Curse, but Mundo is going to fall out, and as is the Galio, as Shyvana jumped in with her dragon form. So looks like none of Curse is going to die, despite a lot of people falling really low.
Yeah, that is the brilliance of Janna. Certainly that extra 3% movement speed from her passive, helping them run away. Not to mention that, of course, well-timed Monsoon to help them get away. I really thought that was going to go in the favor of Just Your Average Joes. Spellsy got caught, but Spellsy also forced them to waste all of their cooldowns just on him, including Galio's ultimate. So I thought it was going to turn around and be a huge success for Just Your Average Joes. Unfortunately, Ari didn't have her ult up quite yet. And I don't believe Graves did either, although it does appear down now. It just doesn't seem like it was up at the time. Also, Lee Sin's ultimate not up. Shyvana did ultimate in, but then was monsooned away quickly thereafter, and that fight will turn into a dragon in Curse's favor. So that is at 1954. It'll be back up at 2554, and the score is 11-11, which is my favorite combination of numbers. I always think it's good luck every time it hits that time on the clock. So we see here Just Your Average Joes actually does have a 2,000, actually only a 1,500 gold lead, mainly due to those turrets. I believe they also got the first, oh my goodness.
Actually, Spellsy going in and stealing that blue buff with his ultimate. He's going to have to get back, though, so he doesn't give it back. But Graves coming in, finishing off the kill on Galio. Wow.
He finished off the kill and then he shot his collateral damage just for fun. He says, I have so much burst that I'm going to use this after you're dead because I'm so bursty I can't even react in time. So basically what I think what happened there. But Spellsy, incredible play. I was like, Spellsy, what are you thinking? You're getting caught. You're like out there. You have no escape skills, but you're trying to steal the blue buff. Why are you even trying to do that? You're now caught by an AP carry and the AD carry of the other team. But no biggie. We're going to take blue buff and we're going to pick up a kill on the Galio.
Yeah, and it looks like now they're just going to try to get this turret. They pushed down one turret, and they're pushing down another. They're getting some damage onto it. They're also taking a lot of damage, so they're going to have to back off here because...
Oh my goodness, that Vladimir.
The Vladimir ultimate going down along with the Janna tornadoes, so the Graves dropping really low, as is Spellsy. They're all over the place now, so... it's going to be hard to catch all the action, but Shyvana going in Dragon Form to try to save Captain Korea, but Captain Korea actually finishing off a kill on the Vladimir. I think that was with the No, that wasn't with Ignite, but she actually ends up falling, and now Lee Sin and Shyvana are on the run. The Mundo coming around, gonna try to throw that cleaver to catch them, and he does land a cleaver on Shyvana, and lands another cleaver on Shyvana actually, and they're gonna be able to slow down Lee Sin and Shyvana, both of them. They're both really low. They're driving too deep on towers, but they're actually taking a lot of damage. So it looks like they're gonna have to back off now. Wow. It's surprising with all the slows going down that Lee Sin and Shyvana are both able to get away.
Yeah, but you know, they did give up that ward kill. They had to place that ward there so Lee Sin could safeguard away, and Crumbs took it, just ate it up. He's like, oh, I got an Oracle, I'm going to eat your ward. Thank you for 25 gold. I didn't get the 300 gold for killing him, but I'm okay. I got 25. That's plenty for me. Mundo eats wards as he pleases. So that was, you know, a really good exchange for Curse. It looked like, I don't know what happened there. JYAJ, you must have teleported to that ward at blue or something along those lines, because I don't know how he suddenly appeared ahead of the pack. I was, you know, focused on, I was focused on Spellsy dying, because I was like, oh my goodness, Spellsy, you're finally going to get your due. You're finally going to die here. He, of course, was being really, I don't know. I guess courageous, I guess is the nice way of putting it, when he went after that blue buff. Of course, he has no escape skills, so once Mundo was on him, he was not getting away. Oh, Tarek goes in for that Vladimir, but Troll Pool stops him from landing that stun.
Yep, and that is one of the reasons that it's called the Troll Pool, because you can't do anything to Vladimir while he's in that pool, just like that stun did not manage to get him as he pulled in.
Right, and we see Kog'Maw, because of that fight, really caught up to Graves. Graves is, you know, it looks like only like 300 gold ahead of him just by virtue of having a Zeal ahead of Kog'Maw, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's very close between those two carries. Well, actually, I say it's very close, and it is close between, you know, based on kills, 5 for Kog'Maw to 6 for Graves. But I didn't notice Graves is actually 196 minion kills to the 132 of Kog'Maw.
Yeah, and that's really a lot of gold right now. So Kog'Maw has about 7,000 gold, while Graves actually has around 9,000. So that's a huge advantage.
Right, and the reason why their items look similar is because Graves has 1,650 gold saved up in the bank, so he'll actually be able to finish off his Zeal. I believe that cost 1,650. Although there is a fight going down, they do take mid turret. They're just going to back off. It looks like Galio was going to move into position for an ultimate there, but right, when Graves goes back here, he can pick up his Phantom Dancer, and it's unwise to fight when your, you know, main damage source is, you know, hasn't spent 1,600 gold, because he's that much weaker. He finishes off that Phantom Dancer. That is, you know, another 1,650 gold, or 1,650 gold from Zeal. You know, just in case you were wondering, in case you're like, oh, when can I go back and buy? Well, that's when you can go back and buy. We see an Oracle pickup from that Tarek. Tarek does have Aegis. Mundo, on the other hand, is building the Aegis for Curse, so we see that again, a kind of a support jungling session, whereas Shyvana has not really picked up any support items. They're just going to let those go into Spellsy's hand. It looks like Shyvana will probably get a Wit's End here as it comes down, has the components for that, hasn't quite bought it. Does she have enough money? Yes, she does. So we'll see that. 0-3 Shyvana now will get, you know, significantly more scary, I think, with that Wit's End.
Yep, and we actually see right now, even though Curse is up in kills, Just Your Average Joe's is slightly ahead in gold.
Right, and already has blue buff, and that's actually kind of a big deal for like team fights. You want your AP carry to have blue buff. It looks like they will be kind of focusing down for this blue buff here. I'm not sure if they'll give it to Cop or if they'll give it to Galio, but it's kind of a dangerous position. That blue buff is very enticing, but at the same time, you know, if you're all the way down at blue buff, a team can rush Baron. It doesn't look like Just Your Average Joe's is going to go for it. Also, there is still a ward for Curse in the back of the Baron camp that Spellsy has been unable to clear out, I think for fear of his life. Understandable. So they do get to pick up the blue buff and are going to head that back up there. But now, you know, the major point of contention, of course, is that Baron. Oh my goodness. Oh, Vladimir walks into a charm, gets caught. Oh, nearly goes down, but gets shielded by Galio, and then everyone had to run away just because Galio is scary.
Yep, and it looks like Just Your Average Joe is going to start this Baron. There are no wards on it from Curse, but they know what's going to happen because that's just the natural thing to do as they back off. So now they're just going to turn and go for this fight, the ultimate coming down from Vladimir, and actually Tarek falls down pretty quickly, but Lee Sin also dropping down really low, and looks like the fight is going Just Your Average Joe's way, but so far it's a 2 for 2 trade.
It's kind of a tie.
Yeah.
But it was really unusual because the Galio ultimate landed. Oh, wow. Element's nearly getting taken down there. The Galio ultimate landed well, but it was almost immediately interrupted. And then there was kind of some funny work there where no one could get on Kog'Maw except Graves. So Graves dashed in and tried to burst down the Kog'Maw, but it ended up that he wasn't really able to. I believe he missed collateral damage, which kind of would have, turned the fight, heavily in their favor, maybe even burst that Kog'Maw all to death. They kind of missed that, missed the opportunity. But even though he missed that, he was able to, stay alive. No one was focusing on him, so he was able to put out his damage, which is significant at this point, and pick up a couple kills there.
And actually, Lee Sin trying to get a kill on Mundo, got him really low, but was baited and
Mundo
fell.
will go down.
But
oh my goodness!
No.
Oh, Nyjackie using that teleport to get behind him. Oh my goodness, this burst! The burst! The burst! Oh my god, will he take out Janna too? Oh my goodness, no way, he's not going to escape. Okay, he doesn't escape, but still, that was crazy. He took out both Janna and Kog'Maw. Whew, before they could kill him, only died to the Icathian surprise of that Kog'Maw in the end there. So they took down Mundo, Kog'Maw, and Janna just for that Lee Sin. Huge, or actually, I guess for that, for the Graves too. But it's still a trade in their favor, 3 for 2. They did give up the killing spree, but importantly, they took away the Oracle from Mundo, so they're kind of starving him of gold. We'll see if he picks up another one here. He is 5 and 2, so he has had a fair amount of gold built up, but instead he decides to go for some armor. We see almost simultaneous buys there from Kog'Maw and Mundo. They're both picking up chain vests. I think they both just got tired of getting bursted down by that Graves. They're like, are you kidding me? Is he really going to kill our whole team, without anyone stopping him? So we see like the first pickups of armor pretty late on to pick up, be the first chainmail vest in the game, 28 minutes in. Of course, we did see earlier Ninja Tabi from Vlad and Aegis from Mundo, but really, you normally see those chainmail vests a little bit earlier. Now Graves is going to have a little bit harder time bursting people down, but he has picked up a Guardian Angel for himself, which means he's going to be, that much harder to kill in team fights. And we see a Maw Malmorsis from Lee Sin. That's pretty exciting. So we've seen him get pretty low in the last couple of fights, but oh my goodness, Spellsy just kind of teleporting there in the middle.
It looks like actually
he might have disconnected.
Might have disconnected. He's just standing there, and I think Curse did back off. I think they recognize that he probably did disconnect, so they aren't going to take advantage of that, which is good sportsmanship on their part. But
it's calling a timeout apparently.
But yeah, no, actually, I just also want to point out that Galio also picked up a chain vest of his own. So as did Kog'Maw. So
and Vladimir
actually, yeah. So like
everyone
the entire team getting chain vest. Chain vest for everybody.
We have 700 gold. We are going to pick up chainmail vest. That is the order of business. They must have, talked on TeamSpeak or on Vent and been like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're actually going to build some armor. And Graves, spent 2,500 gold on picking up a Guardian Angel. And, I think that was a good choice. Certainly he's going to be harder to burst down. But the question is going to become, should he have instead spent that money on the Last Whisper? And we'll see. We're coming into this next team fight. Of course, let's see. Doesn't look like he has a ton of money. He has 600 gold saved up. Shyvana has actually quite a bit of gold, 1,300 gold saved up. Just, actually used it and built a Randuin's, or actually the Warden's Mail, which will eventually build into Randuin's Omen. So right now, Spellsy's still not reconnected. A lot of pings are going down. It looks like Curse is going for Dragon. I don't know, or going for Baron. It's kind of interesting because, while I think both teams are trying to be respectful and say, oh, we're kind of at a pause. They're both kind of doing a dance middle and kind of like, trading damage there. So we'll see how that ends up. See, how long the standoff is going to be. They attack the Shyvana who's going top, and now they're actually going in after her, force her to ultimate away. We're like pretty seriously attacking her, and now at this point, probably because of the nature of the game, the nature of disconnects, they probably don't even know that Spellsy is still disconnected, and they're probably wondering about it, but they don't know. So I don't know how much communication is going on between the teams.
Yep, and it looks like actually they're going to come in behind Just Your Average Joes, and Just Your Average Joes are a little bit out of position, and the Shirley is helping them to try to catch up as they run away. The Flash and the Ultimate, but it doesn't actually catch all of them. The Ultimate coming down from Vladimir to go on Zion Spartan, but looks like Hood Stomp is going to be, they're going to pop that Guardian Angel as Janna drops really low. Actually, the Ahri dropping down as well as the Graves after the Guardian Angel times out. The Shyvana dropping, and looks like Lee Sin is also going to die here.
Yep, and I mean, yeah, I don't know what their whole plan there was. I mean, obviously Spellsy was still disconnected. I guess they felt, if he's not going to, reconnect in a decent amount of time, then they may as well just continue the game. But they basically gave up 4 kills and a Baron, so that is really unfortunate. Yeah, they're saying in game, oh, I thought it was just a bait, and they're saying good game. But all that being said, the game isn't necessarily over. They will be back up in 10 seconds. They don't actually even have to lose an inhibitor for this. In that last fight, we saw Graves, Bugshot, and collateral damage go out on that Galio, and it basically did no damage. Of course, Galio takes reduced damage when he's channeling his ultimate, but yeah, it seemed a little silly that it did no damage after previously being able to burst everyone down. Now, because of those chainmail vests, it's doing very little damage.
Yep, and the Galio actually has a pretty good amount of armor with the addition of that chainmail vest, so really helping him out against the Graves. As you said, the Just Your Average Joes isn't out of it. They're only behind by about 3k gold, and with this much gold in the game right now, that's not as much as you might think.
Oh my goodness, they're just pushing down middle. I don't know what their plan here is. I think they might, they see Galio bottom, they see Vladimir top. They're like, oh, everyone's out of position. Let's take some turrets. Let's gain an advantage out of this. And that's what they do. So they take a turret back. That'll, push the gold a little bit back in their favor. Now only really 2,000, 2,500 gold separated. But of course now Curse is going to gather up, and we're going to see what their play is. Certainly they could take these outer turrets. That might be their safest move, going bottom, getting some free gold from those turrets would really help level the playing field for them. Of course, they are a little bit in the lead, but I mean, we've seen so far they've actually kind of fallen in the last couple of team fights, except for that last one, which was a 5v4, of course. Kog'Maw now, though, is 10-3, so he is very strong, and he's actually more offensively oriented than Graves now, because Graves decided to go for that Guardian Angel, whereas Kog'Maw went straight to Last Whisper.
Yeah, and Graves actually does not have that Guardian Angel up. That's going to take a little while to get back up, so he might not have it for the next team fight.
Yeah, and it really depends. It's a 5-minute cooldown. It looks like it's halfway through here. There are pings going down on Baron, or Dragon rather. I don't know if there's going to be a fight there. Of course, if Curse really push their advantage here, try to push through middle, then they might, get in a fight before that Guardian Angel goes up. But on the other hand, of course, Just Your Average Joes at this point really wants to wait until that Baron is down, until that Guardian Angel is up, before they get involved in this next team battle.
Yep, it looks like Just Your Average Joes is looking to kind of defend right now, not even challenging that Dragon. They see Vladimir and actually go on the Vladimir with that charm, doing so much damage. He's gonna have to pull out of there, but a good damage by Ahri right there. Looks like Curse is going to go for this middle turret, waiting for the wave before going in, and with the wave, here they go. Ahri actually going down, trying to get some poke damage off. Looks like they aren't going to be able to get any damage on the turret yet, though, as the Kog'Maw is trying to get in to hit the turret, gets one hit in, then has to back off.
Yeah, well, slow and steady wins the race. That smokescreen OP, I think they're afraid of walking into that, because you walk into that smokescreen and suddenly you get hit in the face by an Ahri charm and game over. But they are pushing down. They don't even have minions here. They're taking a little bit of damage, but of course Crumbs actually has a ridiculous regeneration on Mundo just from his passive, from Spirit Visage, and from the Baron buff. So they don't actually mind tanking that turret. Now Crumbs is just sitting there on the turret, not really paying it any mind. And Kog'Maw's getting in 3 hits. They're just kind of exchanging the damage done through that turret, and the damage done is being healed back quickly because of that Baron buff. So it's going to come to a point here. Well, it's actually at that point now where they don't have to do that much more damage to this. The next wave, Kog'Maw can throw in probably about 5 hits and take it down.
Yep, actually Tara going in and stunning the Kog'Maw, and a fight breaks out as they dive. The Vlad ult goes down, but doesn't really hit that many people. He goes and gets the Graves, though, and Graves falls. Looks like the turret went down. The Galio ultimate, great Galio ultimate, getting 3 people, and they're all going to fall, and that is an ace with, oh wow, that Kog'Maw doing so much damage, picking up 4 kills, I believe, in that exchange.
Right, that is a quadra kill there. So that is pretty crazy. I don't know why the quadra kill was announced before that triple kill, but it was. So that, I mean, that's an unfortunate kind of ending to the game. Not so much that it wasn't a great fight, it was a great fight, but of course Spellsy got disconnected there. It led to a 5v4 fight where I guess Just Your Average Joes didn't know if he was coming back, so they, kind of just playing around and, went for it, even though, their Shyvana was already in the third life and they only had 4 people, which led to, them losing all their teammates, of course, the Baron being taken, and them having a huge advantage going into that, following fight there with the Baron taking down the inhibitor, getting that ace, and finishing up the game.
Yep, so that was really unfortunate for Just Your Average Joes, but they did take game 1, so they still have a chance to win this. It is 1-1. They are tied. They are going to have to go to a game 3 to decide who moves on to the next round.
I think they're actually doing this just for our sake. They're like, oh, they probably want to watch a game 3. All you out there, don't you want to watch a game 3? I know I want to watch a game 3. So in that respect, thank you for that. It is unfortunate whenever anyone gets disconnected, whenever technical issues really get in the way of a good game, which that one was really leading to be.
Okay, so we are going to try to get you game 3 right now, real soon. We are going to get into the game, so hopefully we'll be able to bring you that right away. Meanwhile, though, I just want to remind everybody that our sponsors for this ggClassic are gaming.stackexchange.com. They are a great site. They have questions and answers to your favorite League of Legends, to your favorite games, including League of Legends and other games. We're mainly focused on the League of Legends part because we are playing the game of League of Legends. But yeah, a lot of great questions. It's more of discussing, not discussing actually, just asking people about gameplay mechanics, how things work in the game, rather than things like who is your favorite player and stuff like that. So check that out. Answer questions, ask